Now returning Omega to the ring. The challenger.
People saying he still sucked. They were cheering for him like crazy a couple months ago, and now he sucks. This guy's an excellent athlete.
Well,
he's a TNT champion, for God's sakes. That's an insane, awesome accolade and accomplishment. I mean,
yes, it is.
Some respect.
The TNT champion with 10 successful defenses, the most of any champion, TNT champion, in a single reign, eclipsing the high watermark set by Darby Allin, by Kyle Buster. Cover here. Just a 1 count.
Two things happened to him, Taz. He attacks Darby Allin at Double or Nothing, brutally, and then he aligns himself with Don Callis. That will get you on the wrong side of the fence. Right? Yes, I'm right. Thank you.
If I don't say anything, then I think you're right, I guess. I'm not going to argue.
Okay.
I mean, what am I going to say to you, Tony?
No,
Flash, nobody home there.
All the match, dude.
Kevin Knight came up empty, as did Omega. Knight connects that time. Knight a step ahead of the champion, at least in that exchange. Omega able to kick out.
on sheer athleticism, Kevin Knight could walk away with this championship here tonight. He's amazing.
He is, but let's not sell Kenny's athleticism. No. I know you're not, but
right.
I'm just saying, Kenny's a freak athlete, dude. You know, I mean, so this is what makes for a great matchup here for the world title.
Come on, Jet. 1, 2.
The boot being ground to the jaw of Kenny Omega. Omega, who felt like he owed it to himself to have his second reign be under his own terms. It was the first reign as AEW World Champion that Don Callis played a very large part in, and Omega feels like that's tainted his legacy here in AEW. That Omega, he has to do it the right way. He has to do things his way, not Don's way.
Right. Remember, they ran out of Daly's place with a belt. Remember that? And left. Never forget that moment.
Gouging the eyes.
1, 2,
It's Kevin Knight.
3. Come on, let's go. On the eye.
As a hammer throw across the ring. Back elbow.
Yeah,
Waits
Kevin was a little overzealous there, and Kenny made him pay.
Leaving Rana. Kevin Knight. That's that great display of agility that he employs so well. Cover. 2. Omega able to break free.
Well, he's smart here. Kevin's just keeping the pressure on Kenny. You have to do that.
Yeah, but the more pressure he keeps on, the more confident he gets, maybe overconfident, and just when you think you got Kenny Omega, right?
Yeah, well, it's true.
Yep.
You want to set your pacing right, especially when you have less experience than your opponent. Because if you rush into things, you get caught. I promise. It happens a lot. For years. A lot of guys and girls in this business. You keep your offense tight and smart and aggressive, but don't get overzealous.
Kenny's trying to grab a hold of the head that time.
Kevin Knight, though, trying to ground
Omega. Here, yeah.
Yeah, Knight's been doing a great job of being evasive here. Oh my God!
Now wrenching at the knee of Omega. Kenny Omega, one important fact to state as far as this event is concerned, is only the second Canadian AEW World Champion. And during his first reign, that we alluded to, oh, wait a second, Omega now.
Nice into that. I thought he was going for an ankle lock, but maybe he is. I can't tell what he's doing here.
But either way, yeah.
An ankle lock, yeah.
Kevin Knight making a hasty escape to the bottom rope. Kenny Omega is the first AEW Canadian champion to defend his title in Canada. That is so important for these fans. His first reign that began at the first ever Winter is Coming largely took place during the pandemic, Tony.
Right.
Not a lot of fans got to see him, so it's important. Not just for Omega, but also for everyone in the building, for the entire nation of Canada, that Omega win tonight. But Kevin Knight doing everything in his power to make that not the case.
Plus, this building that's had so many big moments in pro wrestling in it, this would be a big moment for Kenny to retain.
Strong lariat
Channing speedballs better.
Cover. Shoot. Omega puts out, of course, Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey. Once a tag team duo known as Jet Speed. They challenged for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, but went their separate ways.
Fans are getting to him, too. Look at
Yeah,
this.
they are. That's. I don't think that's smart that Kevin's letting that bother him.
Omega, since that exchange on the outside, has been fighting from behind. But you can never count Kenny Omega out.
No, you can't. All the big matches he's had, everything he's been through physically in and out of the ring. He's trying to get an abdominal stretch here, but if you notice, Kenny's keeping his base super wide to prevent Kevin Knight from really cinching in that abdominal stretch tight, because the lower you are, the less it's going to affect your intercostal rib cage area and your core.
Well, nice transition by Kenny Omega. Shoot.
Just a low roll, like a mini hip roll there, just to get him to his back. It was smart.
Yeah, it's just a glimpse of how great Kenny Omega is right there.
So little things, little transitions, you know, that a lot of people don't do or don't know how to do or don't have the experience to do.
Omega hoists up Knight. Knight kicking the legs. Can he escape? No, cannot. Omega.
Stealed it though, yeah.
Took a moment to steady himself. And from the middle. Oh, Knight got the knees up.
Great job by Knight.
And he can't take many of those.
Knight.
Arm drag out of an attempt for a Uranagi. I think that's what Kevin was trying to do.
Oh, the knee, though, between the shoulder blades. Catches the challenger.
He's been using that Uranagi as wins, causes the crash landing.
Oh! The crash landing of sorts, the reverse Hurricane Rana.
That's definitely a crash landing.
Fans are loving this one.
Now it's Knight struggling to pull himself upright. Kenny Omega with the high ground with the upper hand. Omega lines up the challenger for a V-trigger. Omega on the move, bang, the V-trigger!
And you heard that.
Boy.
Wow.
A pained grimace on the face of Kevin Knight, and this could be the beginning of the end.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we go. Here we go.
Omega's got him hooked. No, Kevin Knight goes around Knight. The leap. Omega snap. Dragon suplex.
Yeah, that Snapdragon, it's a very quick throw. Lowers his base, does Kenny, and a really quick snapping back arch to pull off the Dragon suplex, which he calls the Snapdragon.
Kenny's got a crazed look in his eyes. I don't know if you guys noticed that. A big smile.
Omega. Handful of hair brings Knight upright.
He's got it again.
He wants to probably go for this thing on the apron. Palm strikes to the middle of the back. Here we go.
Oh, my God.
Omega. Snap! Dragon! And Kevin Knight. The Snapdragon on the apron, and Knight falling against our announce desk. Oh, Knight. There's some frustration on behalf of the challenger. He is crawling atop our desk, trying to get away. He's trying to escape. Reaching for.
Ain't nowhere for him to go.
Omega hammering Knight. Trapped on top of the announce desk. Referee Bryce Remsburg.
Oh, boy. I said the crazed look in his face, my God.
Thank you. Thank you, Kenny. Omega.
Well, he's feeling it.
Omega on the announce desk.
Oh, brother.
Oh, no. Omega just looked over his.
This is bad. We're trapped here, and this is going to be nasty for Kevin Knight.
You're not. Oh, he got it hooked.
Full Nelson is in. And Omega. Dragon!
Wow. Oh, my God.
On top of the announce desk. And Knight, he's done. Down to the floor.
Body bounced right off of his desk.
Might as well even do it again. Oh, this is nuts.
Kevin Knight down. Referee Bryce Remsburg checking on his challenger. And Omega, amid the tangle of wires here on the announce desk, continuing his attack on Kevin Knight.
We have had a great crowd all night here in Montreal, and they are behind this Canadian hero right now.
I mean, Kenny Omega is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Of all time.
And I don't think many can doubt or argue that. I don't think it's an overstatement.
Omega with the upper hand, at least for the moment. Kevin Knight just on the receiving end of such prodigious punishment. Kenny silencing the crowd.
You will never be me. You'll never take what's mine.
Wow. Kenny fired up.
Firm knee strike.
Right now, he's kicking Kevin's ass, guys. He is just laying it in. Sorry. I think his teeth went in the front row. Holy smokes.
This is when you're a champion, a world champion, and you know you ain't letting that title go. This is how you conduct yourself.
Omega hoists up Knight. Knight though escapes DDT.
That was a spectacular counter by the challenger.
Man, I tell you, fans here were celebrating Kenny Omega, but Kevin Knight was having none of it.
Yeah, he popped their balloon.
So think Kevin Knight, for all the confidence, all the bravado, he is still the TNT champion.
Right.
And the winningest TNT champion in a single reign. Kevin Knight does not lack for quality.
A great point, Excalibur. You're right. He's a champion. He's proving it here against the best bout machine in Canada.
Clutching his head after Kevin Knight drove him down with a DDT. But Kenny, now the first to fire back on Kevin Knight. 2-3 shots.
Fight back! Fight back!
Omega getting his wish.
Oh, this is tremendous. Look at this. Wow.
Omega asking for more. Taz, my mind goes to the fact that both Kenny Omega and Kevin Knight have spent significant portions of their career competing in Japan.
Yep.
These types of battles, these types of showdowns in the center of the ring to prove who is most deserving of being a champion are not uncommon there.
Correct. And I don't think you're going to topple Kenny with something like that.
Look at Kenny go, brother, man. We got fist. That got through. That got through, too.
Knight trying to cover up, but Kenny Omega's
No, he's
quick hands.
Yeah, he's too quick. You're right.
Oh, but Knight gouges the eyes, changes the tone.
Well, there's no need to fight fair. It's a fight.
Right.
Rake his eyes, thumb his ear, whatever.
Good
Knight in the face.
Got caught on the way in. Popped up, sky high, down goes Omega.
God, what a battle! Holy smokes!
Knight could have went for a cover right away. I know he spent a little bit. He might be crowning a new world champion right here. That was intense.
Let's not forget the winner has Will Ospreay waiting in the wings at Wembley.
The next time we'll be on pay-per-view Sunday, August 30th. But Kevin Knight wants to make it a certainty that it is he and Will Ospreay in London.
This is
Knight on the spring. Omega caught him coming down in an awkward landing for the challenger.
Boy, Kenny laid it all out that time. That was amazing by Omega.
I'm not sure if Kenny Omega was targeting the leg of Kevin Knight or if it's just a take what you can get sort of move.
Yeah, it was tough to tell. But it slowed Kevin down, so that's what he wanted, meaning Kenny.
Omega using the Kevin Knight's belt to stuff him down with a pile driver. 2, and Knight able to kick out. Not a great distribution of weight by the champion on that pinfall attempt.
You know, Kenny has shown a lot of emotion here tonight. I know he normally does, but I really think an exorbitant amount. He's really fired up for this match. Of course, he's in Canada. I get it.
I think it's a combination of being able to defend the title in his home country and also just how far under the skin of Kenny Omega Kevin Knight has gotten.
Yeah, well, Kevin Knight is doing the right thing, meaning leading up to this match, along with Don Callis' advisement, to piss off the champion. Maybe get him off tilt or something.
Yeah, well, it really hasn't worked yet.
Well, the match isn't over.
Well, that's why I said yet.
I know. I heard you.
Right hand to the ribs from Kenny Omega, but Knight fires back with one of his own. Champion and challenger alike, fatigue setting in.
Big double axe handle right in the upper spine. Just a chop right across this trap area, man. Ooh.
Wow. Second one. Taz, that's a great way to make your opponent's arm go numb.
Yeah, it really is, especially when higher towards the head, then a headbutt.
You see the sweat coming off both men with each successive blow.
All right, Kenny's going to take flight here, gentlemen. Or is he?
No, it's Kevin Knight in a single leap up to the top rope, biting the head of Omega.
Kenny got stuck up there.
Omega, I think, slipped off the ropes, but that could have been a saving grace for the champion. As Kevin Knight situated awkwardly on the top, Kenny Omega.
Oh, my God!
Sunset flip powerbomb from the top. Omega not done.
Oh! What the hell did we just see?
Drives down Kevin Knight. Big trigger. Bang! 1, 2. No!
God. That move from the top was unbelievable. What about? Oh. I'll have to watch this back about 10 times.
So watch this impact here. Right on the shoulder. Kevin Knight really landed hard. I mean, Kenny with some bad intentions.
And then the powerbomb followed up by the V-trigger. Back in live action, I noticed Kenny Omega pointing at his head. At the top of his head. I got a little bit of intel from the AEW medical team. It was Wednesday night after Kevin Knight hit Kenny Omega with that TNT Championship belt at the end of the program. Kenny Omega had to get quite a few staples put in his head to close the wound.
Wow. That's some pretty good intel. And not good news for Kenny Omega at all.
Yeah, but Kenny's in the catbird seat right now, and Kevin Knight can't even sit up. He is just about out of it.
We saw Snapdragon suplexes in the ring, on the apron, and on the desk. Are we about to see one from the top rope?
I think you're right. I think that's what he wants to do, Excalibur. Oh, my God, if he hits it.
Knight breaking free of the grip. Oh, Omega. Foot slipped, and now he's in the seated position on the top. Well, at least he was.
And he's stuck now.
Oh, wait a second, Knight.
Oh, coast to coast. How many times have we seen this from Kevin Knight?
And we've seen how devastating it can be. Just ask Darby Allin. Spending 24 hours in the hospital after Kevin Knight landed it. And no! God, Omega! And Omega immediately clutching the shoulder.
A lot of impact on that big thrust off the top. All the way across the ring, coast to coast. Excellent.
Taz, Knight may have been targeting the head of Kenny Omega, but he's still connected with the shoulder.
Yeah, it seemed like Knight was limping a little bit.
Knight has gone for the world title belt. He's got both belts.
Well, it looked like
he just obscured the TNT Championship under the skirt.
Hit one under the skirt, yep.
What do you think you're doing? What in the hell do you think you're doing? Not like this, pal. Not like this. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Well, Knight,
He was going to hit the referee. Okay.
no, he's trying to create a diversion.
And he did.
And now charging at Kenny, but Kenny gets the boot up into the face of Knight. And, oh boy, one-winged angel avoided, but not the crash, landing on the TNT Championship. Knight throws the evidence away. And now he covers. One, two, Omega.
Oh, I thought it was done.
Half a heartbeat away from Kevin Knight defeating Kenny Omega. And now Knight perched on the top, the UFO splash, Omega with the knees up.
They got the knees up, now go for it, Kenny, for crying out loud. There you go.
One-winged angel.
Get it.
No, Knight lands on his feet.
Oh.
Uppercut, quick combination. No, not a combination, just a single salvo from Kevin Knight. Vaults over. Oh, Omega, what a strike.
Here it is.
Kenny was one step ahead of him.
You're right.
One-winged angel.
The winner of this match, and still All Elite Wrestling World Champion, Kenny Omega!
A stupendous effort by Kevin Knight, but Kenny Omega, this far into his career, may very well be in the midst of his prime.
He looks great. I mean, what an amazing title defense against a very tough, credible opponent in the TNT champion, Kevin Knight. But Kenny Omega just too tough in Canada. Canada's own right there.
The battle will never forget Excalibur.
We take a look at the closing sequence.
I think Kevin Knight was maybe thinking like a flying fist or something. Kenny was a step ahead of him and caught him.
And Taz, that's all down to preparation. That's all down to mindset from Kenny Omega. He knows Kevin Knight's tendencies. That leaping lariat, Omega anticipated it with perfection and precision.
Yep, Vince Belt machine.
Oh, wait, no, the Death Riders. Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, Pac, Claudio Castagnoli.
They're trying to open the door for Will Ospreay on August 30th.
Marina Shafir, John Moxley coming to ringside. And John Moxley, remember, he said earlier, if Will Ospreay wasn't willing to do it, Moxley would take things into his own hands.
Bucks are in, the Young Bucks are in.
The Young Bucks trying to protect their friend, trying to protect their brother in the Elite, Kenny Omega, but
there's John Mama.
Matt and Nick Jackson doing everything in their power,
but
to try to protect Kenny Omega, but
they've been pulled out.
The Death Riders running interference here.
Kenny Omega just went through an incredible battle. He cannot take this. No.
Well, the Death Riders definitely have a game plan here, and I think it's going to be really bad for the world champ.
Oh, wait a second. Now,
this happened.
The chair being wrapped around the head of Kenny Omega. Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley's emissary of violence, usually the one to deliver the killing blow.
Isn't this what they did to Will Ospreay a long time ago?
Oh, wait, but Ospreay.
We saw earlier Will and the Death Riders disagree.
Well, these are his training partners, and Ospreay just didn't want to see him do it.
Ospreay knew something was up. Whoa!
Well, listen, Ospreay wants Kenny Omega at his best.
And much like Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay wants to do it on his own terms. He doesn't want an asterisk.
Right, I think that's what it is. What you're just saying there, Excalibur, you're right. Now Moxie's going to try and negotiate something here.
Chased the Death Riders away with that chair, and Jon Moxley slowly getting in the ring, hands behind him.
Like they did to Bryan Danielson.
Absolutely. No. Walk away from this.
I feel like he wants Ospreay to do it.
Yes, he does. We'll walk away from this thing.
How indoctrinated into the Death Riders is Will Ospreay?
This is what happens when you get involved with them. This is what happens.
Yeah, we're going to find out right now. Oh, my God. Thank God.
And Marina charging in comes Yuta, in comes Garcia, low bridge for them, Claudio Castagnoli, set over the top, and that worked out with a hidden blade!
They are scurrying around outside.
Jon Moxley restraining Claudio Castagnoli.
Listen to the fans!
After all Moxley, the Death Riders did for Ospreay, this is how he treats them?
Well, Ospreay, he couldn't bring himself to do that. It would be morally repugnant if Will Ospreay would attack the neck of Kenny Omega, or to place a bag over his head. Will Ospreay is not that type of athlete.
Absolutely. The fans were chanting Will Ospreay's name, singing his name for the man who stood up to the Death Riders.
And I think that was the Death Riders logo on the knee pad that Ospreay just discarded.
Well,
Ospreay takes sight of the AEW World Championship, the title that he will compete for on Sunday, August 30th at Wembley Stadium. All in London. Ospreay Omega is now official.
And what a battle, gentlemen, that is going to be. The start of the bag on hanging the belt.
Ospreay will challenge Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship on Sunday, August 30th, as we return to Wembley Stadium for All in London. Will the reign of Kenny Omega continue, or will Will Ospreay be the first Englishman to win the title on British soil?
A shocker. Wow.
Kenny, what are you thinking? Matt and Nick Jackson equally as stunned as the rest of us. Boy, I thought Kenny Omega wanted to do things differently this time around, Tony Owen.
I don't know. I'm just assuming. I mean, maybe we can hear something. I'm just assuming because the way Kenny grabbed that bag after he did the one winning answer to him, that maybe Kenny felt like you were even thinking of putting this bag on my head. That's what I think he was pissed off about.
Well, Kenny Omega remains the champion of all elite wrestling, the champion of the world, and he has a date with Will Ospreay and history on Sunday, August 30th, when we head to London, England, and Wembley Stadium for All in London.